Beyond the headlines, Dylan Dreyer's unexpected new journey unfolds not as a single announcement or dramatic turning point, but as a quiet, evolving redefinition of love that stretches beyond romance, career titles, or public perception, revealing itself in subtle shifts of priority, perspective, and self-understanding that only become visible with time. For years, she has been known as a steady, familiar presence, someone whose warmth and professionalism created a sense of trust with audiences. Yet, behind that public image exists a more personal transformation, one that challenges the traditional narratives often attached to success, fulfillment, and happiness, especially for women whose lives play out partially in the public eye. This new journey is less about leaving something behind and more about expanding what love means. Love for her family, love for her work, love for herself, and love for the life she is actively choosing rather than the one that simply unfolded by expectation. Redefining love for Dylan begins with letting go of rigid definitions, understanding that love is not always loud or easily labeled, but often shows up in patience, boundaries, and the courage to evolve, even when growth feels uncomfortable. It is found in the way she honors her role as a mother, not just by being present, but by modeling authenticity, showing that love includes self-respect and the willingness to change direction when something no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Beyond the headlines that tend to simplify lives into neat narratives, her journey reflects the truth that love can shift forms over time, that it does not disappear when circumstances change, but instead reshapes itself into something deeper and more resilient. There is love in choosing balance over burnout and recognizing that devotion to others should not come at the expense of one's own well-being, and in embracing the idea that fulfillment is not a fixed destination, but an ongoing practice. This unexpected chapter also highlights the emotional maturity that comes with experience, the understanding that love does not require constant sacrifice to be real, and that sometimes the most profound acts of love involve difficult decisions made quietly, without applause or explanation. Dylan's path challenges the assumption that personal growth must always be accompanied by visible upheaval, showing instead that transformation can happen internally, gradually, as values shift and priorities realign. In redefining love, she acknowledges its many layers, the love that comforts, the love that challenges, the love that endures change, and recognizes that each phase of life asks for a different expression of it. This journey is unexpected not because it is radical, but because it is honest, resisting the pressure to conform to idealized versions of happiness often projected onto public figures, and instead embracing a version rooted in self-awareness and emotional truth. Beyond the headlines, there is also a recognition of vulnerability, the understanding that redefining love requires confronting uncertainty and releasing the need for external validation, especially when so many people feel invested in the image you represent. Her story becomes a quiet invitation for others to reflect on their own definitions of love, to question whether they are living according to inherited expectations or personal truth, and to consider that growth does not diminish love, but deepens it. There is strength in choosing evolution over stagnation, in allowing life to unfold in new ways without framing change as loss, and in trusting that love is expansive enough to hold both who you were and who you are becoming. Dylan Dreyer's unexpected new journey, seen clearly beyond the headlines, is ultimately about permission, the permission to grow, to redefine, to choose authenticity over appearance, and to believe that love, in its truest form, is not something that confines you to a single story, but something that grows alongside you, adapting, enduring, and revealing itself anew with each chapter of life.